guys, it is Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing something that is long overdue because I don't have many talents. I'm not good at singing. I'm not good at sewing. I have many things I like to do that I want to be good at, that I enjoy learning more of, that I put on this channel. But there's only one thing I really know, and that is how to take photos in front of a camera. I have been modeling for over 10 years in many different countries, so I've picked up a lot of tips and tricks along the way, and I feel like it's about time I share them with you. Basically, if you're thinking about modeling, becoming a photographer, building a brand, or you just want to connect to people more, social media is a great free tool to use, and it's really easy and quick to get some good photos if you know a little bit. If you have a little bit of info. So hopefully you're gonna learn some new things today. So I'm gonna be covering lighting, how to pose, ways to get creative, things to do when you are stuck, and I'm also gonna be sprinkling some little hacks and iPhone hacks throughout the video. All right, let's get started. So first things first, I usually just use my iPhone to shoot photos. I right now have the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Sometimes I will also use my vlogging camera, which is the Canon EOS M6. This one has a changeable lens, but I usually just use the lens that came on it. But honestly, most of the time I just use my iPhone. It's convenient, it sets the light really easily. You don't need to play around with the settings. You can just get it fast and get out. For lighting, you want to look for a window. You want to look for something with natural sunlight. That is the easiest and sure way to get good lighting and nice photos. I'm actually sitting in front of a window right now. That's what I do for videos as well. I have studio lighting, but in the end, I always end up preferring just the natural sunlight. It does look the best. Not in front of a window, and everything's lit nicely. The photo would look much better. But if you keep taking selfies in the same place in your home, it's gonna get a little boring. So a way you can spice it up is to sort of block the light a little bit or change it up. And you can do this by using different things in your home. So people have used strainers, they've used blinds. I used a clear tray with some water on it to get a really cool lighting effect. I've seen this trend on TikTok too, where people were taking their iPhone camera and a toilet paper roll and then turning on the flashlight and shining it onto the wall for photos, and those looked really cool. So even if you're just staying inside your home and you're surrounded by the same background all the time, there are ways you can play with lighting to change things up and make things interesting. It's like the opposite of vampires. We've been trained as Instagram people to always go into the sunlight. Step into the darkness, sometimes you will be surprised. Moving along to posing, there's a few things you want to keep in mind first before I get into the actual posing. Number one, you want to be comfortable. This is mostly in terms of what you're wearing. You don't necessarily want to go for the trends that everyone is wearing just because you want to be on trend. If you don't feel comfortable yourself wearing them, or you don't feel they suit your body, or you feel like you're not going to get much use out of the clothes, you're just buying them for an Instagram photo that maybe you're not even gonna really like in the end if you don't actually love the clothes, then it's just a big waste of money and a big waste of time. So make sure you wear things that you feel comfortable in, because when you feel comfortable, you'll feel confident, and when you feel confident, that will come across in the photos and just make your life so much easier. And then even if you do feel confident and comfortable, sometimes you're just not having the best day, or you just don't really like how your hair looks or your makeup looks. We all have days when we're just really hard on ourselves for no reason at all. On those days, I find putting on music for the mood that I'm going for really helps. So if I want to look a bit sexy, then you put on some sexy music, or if you want something really uplifting and girly, I'll throw on like Spice Girls or something. Whenever I'd have photo shoots, the crew would always have music blasting in the background, and that just really keeps our energy up. And they would have music that applied to the mood that the team was going for. Try it. Next time you go to take a photo, put on your favorite song and you'll just feel yourself, and it's gonna come out amazing.
Watermelon sugar high.
Watermelon sugar. Then you want to have good posture. You always want to stand up straight. Actually, no, that's not true. A lot of models like to hunch forward. Like this is very America's Next Top Model-esque, but it depends on the mood you're going for. In general, photos tend to look good when you have straighter posture. You stand up straight and you show your neck. Models will always try to elongate their neck and have their neck in photos. And this goes right down to your toes and your fingertips. A lot of people will think about elongating their legs or their arms or their neck or standing up straight with their back, but they forget about their hands. If you're aware of your hands and feet, this will make all the difference in a photo. Unless you're going for the sort of stiff T-Rex look, then carry on. But you want to also think of how you're placing your hands, and you want to point them and make them look soft, as well as your toes. So whether I'm doing outfit photos or close-ups, I always think about where I'm placing my hands. One or two hands, you can sort of place it around your face. And then if not on your face, you can also place them on your neck or your shoulder or your arms or your body. Just be aware of your hands, is all I'm saying. Honestly, when figuring out what to do with your face, it all comes down to practice and just getting to know yourself. As narcissistic as it sounds, you just want to study yourself in a mirror and get to know which angles work well for you. This is something that's really important for a model to know to save the client time, because time is money. They're paying huge crews and sets and everything, and you just really want to get the photo quickly and move on. I prefer to have a little angle on the body rather than straight on, so you can give a little bit of shoulders and show some of your neck, and then just tilt your head and play with your angles. And you can do a serious closed lip look, but I usually tend to go for a sort of softer, slightly parted lips where you can see a little bit of teeth. Especially when you put your head upwards, I feel like that looks a little bit softer and better, and then you can also soften the eyes, and it helps to sort of think of an emotion you're trying to convey when doing it, so that it can come through in your eyes and your mouth and everything you do. And then if you're not doing a serious look, you can think of the vowels to make sort of a happy face. So A, E, I, O, U. One thing in general I've learned that I think works for pretty much everyone is if you're going for a more sexy look, or like very strong, or I don't know, strong sexy look, I guess, a lower angle works a little bit better, where the focus is the jawline and the lips and the eyes are a little bit like softer. And then if you're going for a more sweet, cute, innocent look, a little bit of a higher angle can work well for you, because the eyes and like the forehead area is a little bit bigger. Also, something to consider when you're taking selfies is your iPhone camera's distortion. So when you pull your phone in, you'll notice that your face gets stretched out. So one thing you can do when taking photos is to hold your phone even further and then zoom in. I think the zoom in method makes your features look a little bit more proportional and realistic, but some people like the distortion that the iPhone makes. It's up to you. And then obviously, to avoid this distortion, you could use a camera. Or again, just take the photo further away and make sure you're in the center, because whatever is on the outside edges, it will get stretched and distorted a bit. So it looks nice for legs, but you want to keep your head in the middle. And then for full body photos, I tend to take photos either straight on, like mid-body, or a little bit towards the lower side if I want to elongate my legs even more. But then you kind of lose a little bit of the neck, and it can be a little bit unflattering in the facial area. A little iPhone hack that I learned is that you can flip your phone upside down when you're taking full body photos, and this will make your legs look even longer without having to get low on the ground. Okay, so full body posing. I want to have some sort of shape, because standing straight on is just not interesting to look at and not always the most flattering. The only time you'll see models do this is when they're taking Polaroids or outfit shots as reference before a photo shoot or a fashion show, like these standard straight ones. Again, it depends on the mood you're going for or what kind of style you're wearing. For example, when I used to shoot lingerie, we used to always want to make a curvy or S shape. Those were always the most flattering angles, so you'd want to twist a little bit so that you would always be on your toes, and then you would try to create some curvy shapes by twisting and just make S shapes. So while we're at it, pointed toes. These are called the Barbie feet. It looks like you have invisible sandals. I like to do this whether I am standing, I am against a wall, I am sitting, I am laying. I always like to have my toes pointed so my legs just extend as long as possible. Besides having your toes pointed, another really flattering thing is to just shift your weight to the back. You can either pop your leg out like this or put it straight. Whichever body part is closest to camera will look the longest. So this can sort of be like that, or it can be to the side. There's a really popular pose on Instagram right now called the jazz legs, where you shift your weight to your back leg and it's slightly bent, and then you have your front leg pointed and extended outwards, and it makes your legs look super long. I've even dabbled in the pose myself. I think people called me Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if it was because of my outfit or my poses. That's something he does. Another go-to leg pose I like to do is just the walking. Walking back and forward. Sometimes I'll just take 1 to 2 steps or even like a little hop so you get a little movement in the hair. Doing this feels really natural and easy, especially if you're out in public. It's just an easy way to get a good photo that you don't really need to think and stand there and pose. That feels a little bit more awkward and forced. Furniture is another great way to take pictures. There's a lot of great things you can do in a bed. Like photo-wise, I've seen so many nice photos taken in beds over quarantine. Today I want to shoot a wet hair, very clean makeup look, sort of just out of the shower. Set up my tripod and I'm gonna lay right here. So this is a really easy and quick shot you can do because the makeup doesn't take much time. It's really simple and quick, and then you don't need to do your hair. Just have your morning shower and you're good to go. We're on couches. That's the thing, eh?
I should know.
Hotels do it.
Oh, or like dimension.
Waiting for my husband to come home. Oh, hello. This has turned into a pose as I wait for my husband to come home from work in. Or on chairs. A lot of brands have been forced to shoot their clothing items in the models' homes, I guess it looks like. So that has been really interesting to see. You can see a lot of very interesting at-home poses on the Zara website. I'm really confused about what's happening on the Zara website right now, but I'm also intrigued, and it's also kind of working. And not only does this apply to poses, but you can also get weird or have fun with outfits. I've seen like Zara layering things really differently, or wearing things inside out or backwards, or just wearing these really out there outfits at home that you normally wouldn't wear. If there's another thing that I've learned, it's not to wait for opportunities, and this applies to everything. It applies to things I wear, career choices, places I go. There's so many times where I thought, oh, I'll do that later, or I should save that outfit for something more like this sort of circumstance. If there's something you really want to wear, then wear it. Put it on, do fabulous makeup, strike an amazing pose, take your picture, and post it for the world to see. So you could use your furniture, or you could also use other things around your house like bed sheets or newspapers or magazines. Another good prop is mirrors. I've seen mirrors used lately in so many different cool ways. One thing that has been really popular lately is to take your mirror outside, whether it's just the mirror by itself or placing something on the mirror like flowers or fruit. It looks really pretty, but don't take your giant outfit mirror outside, because if you lean it against a wall, it will smash and destroy your foot, cut your foot. It wasn't that bad. The first time didn't work out so well for me, but the second time worked out great. I actually got some amazing photos of Rosie too. And then you can take that same mirror and move it to different places around your house so that you can have a different background. They also work great for taking product shots. I saw a lot of people setting up mirrors on their laptop and putting on like a really nice screensaver, and then the reflection in the mirror looks really pretty. Something that really helps me in terms of creating content is getting inspired regularly. So each morning I like to go through my different platforms and I save the photos that I like, and then I create different albums for different things. So I have one for beauty, I have one for nails, I have one for hair, I have one for fashion outfits for each season. And then oftentimes when I'm getting dressed, I'll look at the fashion one for some inspiration if I can't think of something to wear that day, or if I'm doing my makeup. Amazing things happen when you feel inspired. This is true for designers. When they're going to make a collection, they usually make a mood board of textures or colors or things that inspire them to create that collection. And when you are modeling on photo shoots, usually there's a mood board set up of a lot of references of what the client is going for. Especially if I was working overseas where language was a barrier, a client would often show me what exactly they're looking for in terms of posing and mood and how they want me to look. So this is something that I've also taken with me to social media. Also, trying a trend. If something is trending and a lot of people are doing it, it's a good idea to try it too if you're interested in it, and then put your own little twist on it. This is a way that you can also be seen more, because if people are viewing that trend a lot or it's popping up a lot, chances are yours will pop up too, so you'll be seen by more people. All right, what to do when you're stuck. You don't know what kind of content you want to create. You don't really feel like getting dressed up or taking photos or anything like that. When I'm not really feeling creative, I tend to think more caption-wise. I think about what I really want to say or what conversation I want to start and have in my comments. The more you open up, whether it's through the good or the bad, or the more vulnerable you are, the more you share about yourself, the more like-minded people you'll attract to your community and the stronger it will become. So it could be a difficult conversation of something you've gone through in your past and how you've overcome it, or something you're going through right now and you want to ask for advice. Or it could be something simple such as what's in my drawer, or what's in your kitchen cupboard, 3 of your favorite books you read recently, my flowers in their vases around my house. Just think about something you want to share, something about you want to share, or something you want to talk about, and then just go from there. You can switch back and forth between the photo being the important thing or the caption being the important thing, and I feel like this strikes a good balance in order to find your people and just not get stuck. All right, I feel like I covered everything. That is how I think of content, how I pose, how I take photos for social media. At the end of the day, just relax and smile and have fun with it, and your photos will turn out great. It's not such a big deal, but I hope that these tips just add a little bit of extra sparkle to your already shining aura, and that maybe you just get the photos a little bit quicker or something like that. I hope you found some tips helpful, and if you have any that I missed, please let us know below in the comments, or if you have any questions that you want me to talk about, please let me know. If there's a lot, maybe I will do a part 2. Yeah, I hope to see your beautiful face sprinkled all over Instagram, and I will see you also in my next video. Bye!